everybody, Jeff from the Executive Gardening Channel. Welcome. So as you may have guessed, it is Houston. It is the weekend here of March 10th. And yet again, it's raining. It's rained 5 out of 7 days this week. So I'm going to be doing this episode under the patio at my house. And I'm going to focus on tomatoes. Okay, so starting tomatoes from a seedling. Actually from a seed. Mine have been started from a seed, but they're at the seedling stage. So I'm going to show you what I do. I've been getting a ton of questions because it's tomato time most times of the year. I've been getting a ton of questions about what I use to have the most success with my tomatoes. So I'm going to make a brief video and show you exactly what I do to ensure my success. Remember, we feed the soil, which feeds your plants. So here we go. Let me zoom in and I'll show you exactly what I do. So here we go, let's get started. So, by all means, I start with a good organic potting mix, okay? And that's in this bucket. I always put everything in a bucket, okay? And I add perlite, okay? So it's important when you grow your seedlings, the roots have to be able to spread out. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to be planting it in this plastic, looks to be about a 3 or 4 inch by 3 inch container, about 3 or 4 inches deep, okay? And I'm going to be planting the black seaman tomato. That's S-E-A space M-A-N, tomato. It is, in my estimation, the best black tomato you can get in the market for fresh eating, bar none. It's my opinion. Others have other favorites. So I take a little 2.5 gallon bucket. I put an organic potting mix in it, and then I add a good heaping of perlite. Perlite, again, helps the roots spread out, and I'll show you what I mean here in a second. I then add and I fill this thing up. It's a 2-gallon bucket. I fill it up with about half a cup of Epsom salt, half a cup of fish bone meal for phosphorus, okay? That really pushes out a lot of blooms, a lot of flowers. So whether it's my cucumbers, my peppers, and my tomatoes, there's a lot of flowers that turn into a lot of fruit, okay? Epsom salt is obviously magnesium sulfate, very healthy for the plant. Keeps it mostly from being healthy and the leaves turning yellow and so forth, okay? I use organic blood meal, okay? I use about a 1/4 cup of this, okay? And you can buy different varieties. It is organic and it does add nitrogen. So where the phosphorus comes from the bone meal, the nitrogen comes from the blood meal, okay? I then add a potassium source. Potassium helps your plants obviously stay healthy and resist disease and so forth. So I use green sand, potassium. So I put a half a cup of that into a 2-gallon bucket. Okay, and then lastly, I'm a big fan of the MI Gardener. I use about, I'm trying to think, 2 tablespoons of his trifecta blend, which is 5-10-4, okay, NPK. It's organic, works very good. I put it into a bucket, I mix it up really good, and then I start planting. So that's exactly what I do. I don't do anything more, anything less. As the seedlings start to grow every week, I do hit them with compost tea to reinforce all of these nutrients that I did, to make sure they're readily available for the roots of the plant. I don't spray them, I put them in the soil. So let me show you how I'm going to plant my black seaman tomato, and I will show you here in just a second. Alright, so let's get started. So I grew this plant that you're seeing here is a black seaman tomato. It came as one. I grew it in an orta seed starter, okay? And then I cut it in half with a bunch of scissors. So now I have 2, okay? When you have tomato plants and tomato seedlings, it's okay to cut the roots of the plants. And this black seaman tomato is probably about 2 or 3 weeks old, okay? So it's a seedling. I did it from seed. You can find these online, the best black tomato. What I really like about it is you can see here, there's some nice color underneath it. It is a potato leaf black tomato plant. So very different type of leaf than you typically find in most tomato plants, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'll show you exactly what I do. I put my mix in here, and then as you'll see, I punch a little hole at the bottom, and I put the plant in as such. The important thing, and this has been told in many other videos, but it's really important as you grow plants, and again, the potting mix that I'm putting in has a large degree of the nutrients, like I just pointed out a second ago. So the potting mix I put in, I push it down relatively firm, okay, to hold the plant in place. But the other thing that I do is as you see here, is I plant the plant relatively deep, and I put the soil up to about halfway where the stem was. As it's been said before in many other videos, this plant is part of the nightshade family. So as you'll see in this video, this plant has tiny little hairs all up and down the stem. Those will turn into roots and will ensure maximum health, maximum growth for your plant. So this plant has been put down further in the container, okay, and I'm planting the soil much higher up on the stem than you would any other plant, again, because it will grow roots. All those tiny hairs you saw will grow roots, okay? So there you have it. That's what I do. And again, push it down pretty good. Make sure it's in there fairly firm. And then you got it. And then I take this, I put it into a 12 by 12 container, and I always water from the bottom. These things have holes in the bottom, and they grow very nicely. So that's it, folks. That's the ingredients I use for my tomato plants. The nutrients, I should say, I use. It is the black semen tomato, as I talked about. Go get it online. You won't be disappointed. In my mind, the best black tomato you can get. It does get fairly large, this plant, so it will get up to 5 to 7 feet. It is a vining tomato plant. So you're going to need some space. You're going to need to stake it up. The tomatoes that it produces are about 7 to 10 ounces, depending on where you live, and the nutrients that you put into it. But they grow into a very nice black tomato, and the ones that I've had are extremely healthy. So pick yourself up some black semen tomatoes or any other seeds that you have. Use this process. It works. I've done it year after year after year, and I have not been disappointed. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I know most of you are starting to plant your tomatoes for the springtime. Give this a shot. Give me a comment. Let me know how it works. If you don't want to plant from seed, you can certainly go to a garden center. You won't get your black semen tomato from there, but you can get another tomato plant. Use the same approach that I took. Plant halfway up the stem. Use the same nutrients. You're good to go. I hope you've enjoyed me sharing this information, what works for me, and my favorite tomato plant. Until next time, Jeff the Executive Gardener. Take care. Bye.